1. This was a multifaceted ongoing fuck-up that concluded yesterday. A friend and I had been planning a trip to New York for a while. We were trying to do it cheap, so we booked megabus tickets, and were planning to stay at friend 2's apartment for 3 nights. Awesome. Friend 1 and I are pumped, planning out what we want to do and looking forward to the trip. About a week ago, friend 2 tells me that her apartment might have bedbugs, and unless we want to risk infestation, we better find another place to stay. Shit. But okay, don't fuck with bedbugs, right? Last minute hotel hostel Airbnb search puts us in a shitty looking B&B near JFK Airport. It was the best we could find that was cheap and last minute. Whatever, we're still optimistic. Check the weather for New York, the weather gods are angry. Okay. We'll just bring umbrellas and raincoats. Slightly less optimistic now. Here begin my personal fuck-ups. At work the other day with friend 3, he asks what day I get back from New York. I tell him the 20th. He and I had plans for the 19th. Fuck. I do this all the time. Yes, I am that shitty friend that makes multiple plans on the same day and inevitably has to bail on people. That is me. I am sorry. But hey, no big deal, right? I'll just come home from New York a day early, book another megabus ticket and text friend 2 the situation, hoping she will understand and be cool with it. Fingers crossed. Didn't hear from friend 2 for hours. Hope she's not bailing completely. Start to worry. Go home and friend 3 makes spicy ramen for dinner. It was delicious. I love spicy food because I have no taste buds. Finally get the inevitable text from friend 2 saying she's bailing. Damn! Start cleaning up from dinner, thinking about whether I want to go to New York at all now. Can't get a refund on the bus tickets or the B&B. What should I do? Nose is running from spicy ramen. Go in the bathroom to blow my nose. Upper lip starts feeling weird and tingly. Not allergic to anything. What could this be? Touching my face, trying to figure out what's going on. Left side of face starts feeling weird and then boom! Left eye is instantly on fire and swells up. Whole side of my face is bright red. I got ghost pepper salt in my eye and all over my face. This is not what I meant when I said I like things spicy. Immediately stick my whole head under cold water and start rinsing my eye. Friend 3 generously helps by Snapchatting me in excruciating pain. The pain is so intense I just start laughing uncontrollably. After about half an hour the intense pain starts to subside, and I can think again. My face is still a little red and puffy, but at least I have survived the ordeal. Then I remember I'm supposed to be leaving for New York in 3 hours. Finally just say fuck it. It was not meant to be and decide not to go. Now I'm out about $400 because it's too late to get refunds. And I still don't know if friend 2 hates my guts now. 2. It all started this morning, the morning of my AP World History exam. I purposely didn't drink any water with breakfast since I knew that I often have the urge to pee under the pressure of big tests. But I did have a fair amount of cantaloupe. And that's where the problem started. So I get to school and we get in the desks in the gym for the exam about 7:50ish. I didn't really have the urge to pee at this point. Then we led into the hour of filling out AP information before even starting the actual test. By the end of that, I kinda had to pee. But I didn't want to go at that point since everyone had already gone, and I figured it was just my nerves, and it would probably lighten up. It did not. Mistake number 2. We started with the multiple choice, and I had no time to spare in that section. By now I did have to go to the bathroom. But since I didn't have any time to, I just held it. The problem was that I couldn't hold it for the entire hour of multiple choice. So I peed my pants. Probably $50 spot of piss. That's not too bad. My shirt will cover it, I thought to myself. I also figured I got it all out of my system. so I didn't bother going to the bathroom and risk anyone seeing the pee-spot. If only I knew what would come. We start the short answer next. I was more confident about this section. More confidence equals less stress, equals less urge to pee, right? But I was still pressed for time, and still had more urine. Here's where it started to get past the point of no return. At the end of this section, the pee was about halfway down my shorts. We had a 15-minute break here and everyone could get up. But I stayed in my seat for obvious reasons. I could still cover it up with my shirt while sitting, but I figured that was all of it and didn't risk people seeing me for going to the bathroom. Then we started the essay sections. This was undoubtedly my weakest point of the test, so you may be able to tell what's gonna happen. Surprisingly enough, I peed even more. I could literally not stop myself. I think my mind just gave up, trying to hold it. By the end of this section, my shorts all the way to my knees were soaked. I went down and covered my ass. My shirt, from just being on top, had a huge wet spot. And there was an undeniable aura of piss stench surrounding me. The test finally ended and I got my friend to grab my sweatshirt to cover it. And I figured I'd wait to get up until everyone clears out. But my wallet fell out of my sweatshirt when she grabbed it. And then the proctor was yelling my name from the front of the gym to go up and grab my lost wallet. I do a half jog across the gym, with the sweatshirt at least covering me from behind, and get it. While up there, another proctor asked, "Oh, did you spill something on yourself, sweetie?" Even though it was pretty obvious by the smell and location of the moisture, I decided to just go with the spill story. She may have known and just felt bad, but I went with it. I asked if I could run to the locker room and grab my gym shorts, and I did. Thankfully at this point, pretty much everyone was out of the gym, but I still had to walk through a hallway of kids, while in shorts covered in urine and regret. Also worth noting that the seat was extremely moist when I stood up. Not like a puddle, but quite noticeable. So anyway, I go up the gym office so they can unlock the locker room, and all the teachers are just staring at me when I open the door, covered in my piss. I said, "Hey, I spilled something on myself, could I grab my shorts?" To which my gym teacher replies, "Hulk's micropenis, you peed your pants again?" As a joke, to which I awkwardly laughed. I quickly changed my shorts, finally went to the bathroom, and thankfully had an early dismissal after the test, so I could go home and shower. I guess we'll see in July if it was worth the mess when I get my score. 3. I don't know if you had it too, but where I'm from, the Monday and Tuesday 2 weeks ago, April 30th and May 1st, were kind of an extended weekend. So after an exhausting week in university and a busy Saturday and Sunday, I decided to just relax on Monday and sleep in. Well, at least this was the plan. But my inner clockwork had decided to be a dick, so I lay awake without hope to get back to sleep, and no motivation to get up and do something productive. You know this feeling when you lie in your bed, don't know what to do, and start to think about your life decisions? Missed opportunities and perfect comebacks for some stupid argument a few years ago. Well, I was in this state of mind, and my mood got worse with every thought. So I did what every human being should be doing when feeling down: watching weird stuff on YouTube. Lying sideways, one arm comfortably tucked under the cushion, my head resting on it, and my smartphone in the other hand, I started to get lost in the depth of the internet. First mistake. After some time, I started to lose the feeling in my arm, on which my head was located. I think everybody knows this sensation when it feels like a million tiny bugs are crawling on your skin. But I decided to ignore it, and eventually it stopped. Second mistake. When the battery on my phone went low, I finally had to move and turn to the other side of the bed. I thought this was a good possibility to stretch my arm and maybe get some feeling back into it. third mistake. So what did the mastermind in me do to achieve this? First, I placed the arm which held my smartphone on the other side of my body, while also turning my torso. Then I lifted my other arm in the air, fourth mistake. Unbeknownst to me, my arm went numb while watching videos right above the shoulder. As my arm was about 90 degrees to the bed and myself, I lost the feeling in it completely. Picture it like a telephone post in the middle of a field. At this moment I knew I fucked up. I saw it coming too. My arm started to collapse slowly at first, then gaining speed and landing with a smack in my face, which would put every slap in a drunken high school challenge to shame. It felt like I had mastered the slap of 1,000,000 exploding suns in just half an hour while watching YouTube. When it hit, it seemed like the world got silent. I couldn't hear the birds outside my window anymore. I couldn't hear the pedestrians walking by anymore. It actually just got silent because I hit my ear too. It felt like everything just stopped to salute me in my stupidity and stare at me in disbelief. Even my cat, who was sleeping at my feet, sat up and stared at me like, "Has he gone completely insane?" before turning around and ignoring me. After lying in bed for 5 more minutes, trying to comprehend what just happened, I got up and walked to the nearest mirror to see the full dimension of it. Half of my face was red. The sound in my ear wasn't fully back until it looked like I got bitch slapped for staring at some ass for far too long. So what did I learn from this? Don't lie too long on your arm without moving. 4. This happened on Friday. Hey there, buckaroos. Our city decided that they need to replace all the water meters in every residence. I was sent a letter a few weeks ago asking me to schedule a day and time for a representative to do the install, so I picked last Friday afternoon. The letter informed me the entire process would take about 30 minutes. I work mostly from home, and my office is located in the basement, adjacent to the utility room that houses the water main. Obviously, I have a desk where I troll Reddit, I mean work. And I also have some DJ equipment with some fairly big speakers to listen to tunes and podcasts. On the day before the install, I participated in Chuck Tingle's AMA, where he was promoting his new podcast. Even though it is satire, he is a really good writer and I've enjoyed his short stories over the years. Anyways, last Friday afternoon I was listening to Pounded in the Butts episode, Slammed in the Butt by My Handsome Laundry Detergent Pod, when the meter installer rang my doorbell. He was an older gentleman and seemed nice. I led the way to the meter and asked if he needed anything, and then told him that I was going back to work, and went to my office and resumed the podcast. At this point in the podcast, Justin McElroy was reading an excerpt from the short story where a handsome laundry pod fucks a guy in the ass and shoots his load in the guy's mouth. I was laughing hysterically, but apparently the meter installer didn't find it funny. I didn't notice that the installer had left shortly after hearing the podcast, and I thought his work was complete. About 20 minutes later, I received a call from the company, and a representative told me that the installer felt uncomfortable and left. She said that I had acted inappropriately and asked what I did to offend the guy. I honestly was clueless, and then the representative said that I was making inappropriate comments that were sexual in nature. I started laughing and explained that I was listening to a satirical podcast. She said that the installer didn't find it funny and wouldn't be coming back to complete the install. I asked if someone else, with a sense of humor, could come back, but she said our house was flagged as self-install, and I was responsible for hiring a plumber to do the replacement, which would cost about $300. I was really angry at this point and tried explaining to the representative my outrage. She basically said, "Sorry," and hung up. I then called the city and explained to a representative what happened. The city told me that if the vendor marks our house as self-install, there is nothing they can do about it. I'd like to clarify that I'm not mad at the installer for being offended by my choice of podcasts. I understand if he felt uncomfortable. I just wish he would have said something to me, and I would have put in my earbuds. Thank you to everyone for their feedback, especially user Chuck Tingle thanks for his words of wisdom. A few last words. Yes, I did hire a plumber who will be here on Wednesday to complete the job. No, I am not planning on suing anyone over $300. Yes, I did learn my lesson, hence TIFU. And I will wear earbuds from now on. And finally, yes, I understand both sides of the argument and can appreciate if you felt for the installer and the awkward situation I put him in. There really was no malice involved. Just a mistake made by me. 5. A few weeks ago, my sister and I were walking along a path we found in the woods. Not really woods, but kind of a collection of tightly put together bushes and some really big trees. There's a walking and bike path nearby, and just over a grassy ridge is a main road leading to a highway. So my sister and I are walking along this path by a river. It was a strange little tunnel-like thing of leaves and twigs. Then we spot a shopping cart in the woods. So we thought we'd grab that sucker because it'd be cool to return it, and if not, maybe make a deluxe cat stroller for our older cat, or maybe even use it for a wheelbarrow. I don't know. We went back a day or so later and get it, and as I'm making my way into this brush, twigs getting in my hair and hoodie, thank God we didn't get ticks or spiders, I start hearing this weird tapping noise. A rhythmic tapping that didn't sound very normal. Then my sister chimes in with a "what's that?" So I knew it wasn't just me hearing things. I freeze and start scanning the woods for anything out of the ordinary. Where we live, drug addicts run amok, and it probably wouldn't be all too surprising to find a tweaker in the woods. But is it a high out of their minds person I'm worried about? Nope. I've listened to and watched so many scary videos with creatures in them. Now, I don't really believe that many of these things exist, save for Bigfoot, but I was getting scared of the possibility, so naturally my mind starts going down the list as to what this oddly unnerving tapping sound is. Wendigo? Skinwalker? Maybe a lizard person? Sasquatch saying, "Get the fuck out of my forest, you darn kids!" by smacking a tree. But my mind keeps going back to Wendigo or Skinwalker, and I'm getting more and more nervous. I can't run back. There's so many branches in the way. If we had to make a dash for the main road, sister and I would have to be in a line. The path we were on is too narrow to run side by side, and in all honesty, I was just frozen in case it really was a Wendigo. And then my sister starts talking, asking what it is, and I'm whisper yelling her to shut up. What if it really is a threat? The tapping continues, and I'm fully prepared to have the crap scared out of me. But I start looking for anything to use as a weapon. Nothing but weak, pathetic sticks. And I don't have a knife. Brilliant. I don't move and keep looking for the thing's source. If I can't find it, I'll just head back to Sis and we'll quietly get out of here. My heart is beating like crazy, and I start breaking out in a cold sweat. With all the nature sounds and the birds singing, I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. The warmth radiating from your core makes your shoulders feel like they're pulsating. I could feel the adrenaline building up, the nerves in my feet vibrating as if to tell me, "Yo, let's ditch this place." Then I looked up to the trees and noticed the source of the sound. A tiny woodpecker. Cute little bugger. To be honest, I don't know what we would have done if it was a scary creature or a tweaker, but I thought this story was pretty funny. Also, we got the cart and it's been there for a while. The market it belongs to isn't even in this city anymore, and the colours are all faded. Bits are rusty as hell, and it was a pain in the ass to pull out of the forest due to a stuck wheel. But with a spray of WD-40, the thing works great now, and it'll help my mom when she wants to do some gardening. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to 5 True Embarrassing Stories, episode 75. Thank you very much for everybody who allowed me to use and send in stories for use in this video. As it's the weekend and I want to get to do some serious hardcore relaxing, I'm going to keep the outro short and just wish everyone a very nice weekend. Hope you get to do what you love doing most, and if you don't, that your next day off gets here soon. So with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.